Hey guys, welcome back to iSoft Original, and on today's lesson we're going to see how we can create a video editing software. This is going to be in series, so if you have yet not subscribed to my YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel so that everything will be successful, so that you won't be missing any episode coming on iSoft Original's official YouTube page. Now, first thing first, before we get started, we're going to use Visual Studio, and the language is going to be the Visual Basic, right? Okay, so make sure you have successfully installed Visual Studio on your computer, and then you just go to File, New Project. You're going to create a new project, and it's going to be fantastic. All right, good. So that is it. Make sure you select Windows Basic, Visual Basic, and then you select a Windows Form application, and then this is going to be your editing software. So I'm going to call this smart let's say smart video editor. Good. Smart video editor. Good. So let me give it like a version, let's say version 2.0, and that is fantastic for me. Good. So you just download you just click on OK for it to create create your project for you, and you are good to go. But first thing first, you need to download some plugins. The link is being in the description below, and or you can just follow by the links in the description to download all these plugins. First of all, you need to get this SQL ABC modern UI. If you don't have it, don't worry. Let me see. Let me know it from the link from the comment section below, so that I can upload it for you to download it. We will be using that one, and as well as when I locate myself to my C drive, I have movie maker timeline, and you're gonna just import this timeline ax.dll file. If you don't have this, the link to download is in the description below. So let's get started. Now this is my form. I'm just gonna arrange it up, and then I will just do some little bit adjustments on the form. I would like to start it in the center screen, and then I would like to start the window state for it to be maximized, and that is very important. Now from my toolbox, first thing first, I would like to collapse all the tools so that I show you guys how you can go about with the plugins, right? Good. So this is it. So I created a system here called video stuff. So let me remove that for now. Let me delete that tab for now, and then I will just right click and then create a new tab. Let's say video editing stuff, right? Good. So on this video editing stuffs, I'll just go to here and then drag and drop my timeline into my video editing stuffs. So this is how it looks like, right? Okay, that's not all. So let me go back, and then this SQL Lab modern UI, I'll just drag and drop that one inside as well, inside my video editing stuff, and that will give me a nice modern UI controls, and it's very fantastic. So from this section, I'm going to use the team B from the SQL Lab. I'm going to use the team B. This is the SQL team B. So I'll just drag and drop it here, and automatically it will just change the whole thing for me, and that is how it looks like. You can just click on start to test to see how your project works, and you'll see this how it looks like, right? Good. That is how it looks like. So let's close it by holding Alt F4 to close everything. Now let's go to our toolbox. Let's search for close. It has its own close button, and then let's search for maximize. So it has its own maximize, And then let's search for minimize. It also has its own minimize, so that is fantastic. You just arrange it as you wanted it to be. Just arrange it like that, and it's gonna be fantastic. It depends on whatever you want to do. Anytime I say that when you are doing interface development, it depends on whatever you want to do. So this SQL ACB, you can change the text here, and I'm gonna call this smart video editing editor. Let's say version 2.0. Good. And then so that is it. I can now start my project again once more, and then you see that all these are now working perfectly fine. I can close, I can minimize, I can do whatever it's already been coded, so you don't need to stress yourself any longer. Yes, so that is how it works, and it is very fantastic. I really love that. Now, first thing first, let's add some some group boxes, right? So I'll just come here. I told you earlier on the reason why we added this SQL AB, that will help us to adjust some things for it to be very, very fantastic. So I'll just go in for a group box, and that is this group box. I'll just drag and drop it here, and I will just leave it like that, and then I will just work along with that, something like this. And you can decide to change the other settings and then the rest. So I'm gonna say this is gonna be, let's say, the editing section. You can decide to choose any name you wish to use, and that is going to be fantastic. Now let's see from this side. I can decide to say that the back color is transparent, the base color is this. I can decide to choose this as my base color, and it's gonna work perfectly fine. As you can see from here, it depends on whatever you want to do. Actually, it depends on whatever you want to do. Yes, so that is what I'm really talking about. You can decide to do whatever you want to do with it, and it's gonna work perfectly fine. Good. So let's see from the form, and then let's extend it. So let's rename this form so that everything is going to be fantastic. So let's rename it. Let's call it form main, right? So just call it form main. Good. And it's going to be working perfectly fine. Good. Now let's anchor the the section for it to be very, very fantastic. So let's say the anchor, I think let's add only right to that, and it's going to be fantastic. As you can see, it is very, very authentic and international. Good. So from this section, I would just like to embrace it a little bit, like you just push it up a little bit. Good. So from this section, I'm gonna add the most important element which I would like to add for now, which is, I'd like to say that okay, let me delete this sorry, let me delete this group box for now, and then I would like to add a normal group box, right? So let me add a group box, a normal group box, so that I can get the lines quite well. And then for this group box, I will just say that the back color, it shouldn't be white, but it should be rather transparent, so that I can get the line that I needed, right? So the same thing applies to that, but for this one, I would like to take off the text for the group box, and I'll get my line as I wanted it to be. Good. So that is how I wanted this to be. So let's work along with the anchor, so that it will just anchor to the size, and it is going to be very fantastic. Good. So let's add the most important tool, which is our video player for now. But before, let's copy this and paste this one more time, which is the group box, and let's add that one here, and it's gonna be fantastic. It's gonna be fantastic. So let's just squeeze it down, and then raise it up a little bit higher, and then let's squeeze this up a little bit. Good, and that is fantastic. For that one too, let's set the anchor to bottom and then leave the up one. Don't forget to save your project, and then let's start it. Now this is how, probably that's how it looks like anyway. So we will just enlarge this a little bit, and then we will just rearrange this a little bit. Now this anchor, let's add down so that it will be very, very fantastic. Now let's start it and see. So this is how it looks like, guys, and that is quite not good for me, so I'll just squeeze it to be this way, and then I bring this up a little bit. Sorry for wasting your time on the designing. I should have worked on that later before we start the video, but no problem. So let's go to the toolbox and then clear everything here, right click, and then go to choose items. Now from the choose items, we're going to add a component called the Windows Media Player component, right? So go to components, and then we're going to add scroll down and then search for Windows Media Player. That is it. Check it, make sure it's checked, and then click on OK. Now it will be added to your toolbox from this section. Now draw it according to how you want it to be, right? So this is how, probably this is how I want it to be. Then you right click on that, and then you choose properties. Then for the selection mode, just choose none for now, because we don't need the default controls and all of that stuff. Yes, we don't need that. So we just wanna do it this way, and then I believe that is quite fantastic. So that is it. I would like to add a new group box. Yes, I will add a new group box here, and then for this group box is going to be my side panel, and I would like to clear all the text, and it's gonna be fantastic. Good. So for this one, I will just dock it to the other side so that everything is gonna be fantastic. I'll just anchor it to the top left, and it's gonna be fantastic. And then let me add the down one as well. Yes, then let's remove the left and add right down to the player as well. Now let's test it once again and let's see how it looks. So this is how, probably this is how it looks like in the full screen mode, right? So let's see how best we can work on that. So that means we should raise this up a little bit higher, and then raise this up a little higher, and then let's start it once again and let's see. So probably I think we need to work on that as well. Let's add top to this group box, and then let's see how the shape will be. So it's more like how I was expecting. So let's now adjust it. This is the most difficult part, so let's try to work with the adjustment, and I believe everything will be fantastic. So this is how I would like to sustain mine. Yes, so let's add this right to that, or we can say that let's use this as like that. Yes, so as soon as I start the project, this is how it's going to be, right? This is how it's going to be. First of all, first thing first, let's see how best we can modify this. And I believe, so let me copy this and paste it one more time, and for this one let me just drop it here, and let me just adjust it to be like this, right? Good. So when I start it once again, you see that it will be in a nice shaped mode, right, guys? So let me see, let me decide to remove this, and then let's see how best it works. Today we're gonna use today we're gonna waste more time on the interface development, because we will be working a lot on this particular project for now. So I believe this is quite interesting for me. So let me draw this down, and then let me just open up this. Good. And then on this video, let's squeeze it up a little bit, and then let's start it up and see how best it looks like. Fantastic, it is very very fantastic. So let's remove the button anchor, and then let's see how probably let's see how it looks like. That is perfect. Good. So while we have gotten all these stuff, we need to add the most important tool as well. Let's go to the editing stuff, and then let's add our movie maker timeline. That is very very important here. So that movie maker timeline is going to be here, right? So for that one, we're gonna dock it to fill the parent container, right? So search for the dock here, and then select fill, and that is going to fill the whole container. So this is how the editing software is going to be, and we're gonna add some little things, attachment to this particular software, and it's going to be fantastic, as I said earlier on. Now let's add some buttons. So I'm gonna add SQL Label button, right? So this is gonna be my I would like to change some settings on this. So I would like to say this is my play button, and for this play button I would like to do it this way. Just sorry, I'll just say that Control C Control V, or Command C Command V on your keyboard. Now I'll just position this in the middle, or let's say the center of it, and then I will just add this arrow for that one, and then I'll just rearrange everything. Good. I'll just copy and paste it one more time, and then I will just add it up here, and I will just work along with that. I'll just play along with that, so that until I get what I need. Good. So let's see this one. Good, and that is perfect. So I believe we've gotten our play button now, and I am good with that. Yes, I'm good with that. So I think we can add stop, and then you can add whatever you want to add to that. Let's paste one more time, and then let's add it here, and then let's change the text on that to this, and then I believe is quite interesting. That is your stop button. You can decide to choose whatever you want to do, and that will be working perfectly fine for you. So let me add this here, and this is going to be, let's say, the pause. So pause, actually I'm going to use I think I lost this sign. Okay, let's see. For now, so that later on we will just be adjusting it. Now all these, we would like to dock it to the down, and then leave everything like that. Just dock it to the down and then left. So let's see the anchor. Sorry, let's set the anchor to the side. Let's remove the top, and then let's select down. Good, and that is very perfect. Let's start it again, and let's see how it looks like. Now you can see that the controls are missing, right? So let's highlight everything, and then let's add, I think we should add up to that, and let's see how it looks like. Okay, I think okay, let's add up to that, and then let's start it again. Let's see how it looks like. Okay, so now it's there, but you can see that the app, so that means we should remove the button for now, and then let's start it once again. Now you see that it will be fantastic. So that is it. You can see our play button is very beautiful. Good. Now we can decide the anchor, we can decide to remove the down and then start it once again, you see that it will just that is perfect as I wanted it to be. Good. Now, while we have gotten this, we can add a lot of stuff to this, right? I like to copy and then paste this one more time, and then it's gonna be let's say our little guy here, which will be the import media, which you can decide to use anything that you want, and it's gonna be working perfectly fine. Now let's add one more thing, but before we do that, let's bring this down a little bit. Now let's add track bar, right? Let's add track bar. Now you can see that the SQL Label has its own track bar. That is the reason why I said it's very important for you to use the SQL Label. Yes, so let's see the track bar. Let's see how it's gonna be. Now I believe this is quite interesting. Now let's see for the maximum. The maximum, let's choose 100 for now, and then the minimum is gonna be 0, as you can see. Then let's add a label, right? We have SQL Label, but you can decide to use SQL Label and it's gonna work, right? You can decide to use SQL Label. So we will say that that will be the time duration for the video, and then yes, so you can just place it somewhere here and it's gonna work perfectly fine. So just copy that. Sorry, you can just copy and then paste it one more time and then add that one to here. Good. Select this and then sorry. Good, and that is perfect. So just move it down, and is very, very fantastic. Good. Now I believe you now understand my concept. Good. So don't forget to save your project. Now highlight all those stuffs by holding shift to select all these, and then select the anchor point, and then add right, and then remove the left, and then click enter on your keyboard. Now let's start this and see how it looks like. Now this is awesome. Now you can see that our timeline is been working perfectly fine here, and this is very interesting. We can click on this import button to try to import a media, and that will be working perfectly fine. Okay, so from this section I believe we are yet about to be done. So I would like to do some little bit adjustment on this particular designs, and everything is going to be fantastic. All right, so that is awesome. Good. So guys, let's see how best we can add up to our project. All right, so let's start it once again and let's see how it works. All right, good. So this is our media, this is our editing software. We can add another source monitor here, and it's gonna be working perfectly fine. You can just copy, just say copy, Control C, and then Control V. Let's say you can just copy this and then come to here, and then just you can just paste it, right? And then you get two source, and it's going to be working perfectly fine, right? It's going to be working perfectly fine. You can just adjust it according to due to screen resolution and other stuff. You can just maintain it this way, and it's going to be working perfectly fine. Yes, so let's start it once again and see how best it looks like, and that is amazing. So let's see how best we can go to the anchor side and then add the right to it, and then start it up and see how best it looks like. That is boom, it's awesome. Good guys, we will rest here, and before we go, don't forget to subscribe to Isoft Originals channel, and to get the updated section of this particular lesson. Guys, until we meet again on our next lesson, adding a lot of gadgets to this project, Isoft Original is out.